Oh, here we are. Here we are again. All right, here comes our coveted church chat theme, y'all. It's church chat with Pastors Dan and Dave. Come hang out with us on our stream. It's Church Chat Wednesday. Yeah. All right, there they are.
So is it over?
It's over.
James has changed things. I can't hear the theme song in my ear, but allegedly it's there.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to believe anymore. I don't even know what to believe.
There's no Santa, is there?
Dude.
Easy,
You can't
Dave.
say those kind of things over the airwaves. Wow. All right. Welcome to Church Chat, everybody. I'm Pastor Dan.
And I'm Pastor Dave.
And James Adkins is over there doing magic things with electronic devices, and we are happy that he is there to do that.
Mainly, I just restart my computer 3 times a day to try to get things to work right.
Hey, that's usually what it takes, and it works, so we don't ask questions.
Yep, you exorcise the demons.
We don't ask questions. So. Glad you are with us today. Thanks. We are starting a half hour later than normal to accommodate our guest, who is Linda Barclay. She's going to be joining us around 1 o'clock, and she helps run the Scouting BSA, I think is how you say it now.
I'm not sure.
Isn't
Isn't it just Scouts?
I don't know. It's Scouts, or you might know it as Boy Scouts. I don't know. She'll explain it a little bit better at our church. She's just recently won.
Because now they have girls.
Well, right. And so that's why I think it's called Scouting BSA.
What is the BS mean?
Boy Scouts of America. But I don't know. We'll have to ask her for some clarification. But she'll be joining us here in just a little bit this Sunday, Scout Sunday. So it's kind of a precursor to all of that. They're going to be helping in some of our services this coming Sunday. So glad to have them with us. This past Sunday was the Super Bowl.
Yes, it was.
So there's a website that I think it's superbowl.com, but it's actually about really good owls. It's Superb Owl, which is funny. I think it's funny. People go there thinking it's going to be football stuff. It's just really nice owls.
We had our Super Bowl.
Yes. What was the fight? Let's announce it here on Church Chat.
I would
ask you.
Yes. It was something like 67
for the
points
youth.
for the youth and minus 31 for the adult.
That's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
Just embarrassing. The youth wipe the floor with us.
Yeah.
It's rough, but it's great. All that food's going to be going through the Scouts.
42 cans.
Yep, that's amazing. 2 local food pantries, Schopenhall, and I don't know where else, but that's great stuff. So excited for that.
Here's the other thing that's really cool about it is the whole reason we do the point thing is not to make it competitive as much as it is to really get chicken noodle and SpaghettiOs, because little kids like that, and then we're not just getting old cream of mushroom that you found in the back of your cabinet. So almost all of them were SpaghettiOs and chicken noodle soup. So
I remember at one point in time when we were doing some sort of donation, or somebody was giving donations. I worked at the city mission for a little while, volunteered there, and people donate things. And I saw some of the weirdest stuff donated. Yeah. One of the oddest that I've never seen in a grocery store, but that somebody donated, was a box of Jell-O mix, but it was like sparkling white grape juice Jell-O. I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently that is a thing.
Well, when we started our the first year we did our rummage sale at the church. We used to have a big rummage sale at the church. Very first year we did it, somebody gave some pancake mix from the 70s.
Well, that's not good.
And a half a bag of used cement. So
a half a bag?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you do with that?
Threw it in the garbage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
well, there you go.
I'm glad you brought it to the church, but here you go.
I feel like sometimes that's what it is, and that's what garage sales are. It's like, could you throw this away for me?
Yeah.
So I got in a debate with somebody. This is not important, by the way. But
Yeah. Nothing's important until Linda comes on.
Right. I got in a debate with somebody over the weekend. She was upset because there was a local Facebook garage sale group that she wanted to join, and they kept rejecting her, wouldn't let her join. And I was like, okay.
Got blackballed. How do you get
I don't know. But she's like, they wouldn't let me join. And I said, don't you live in an apartment? And she said, yeah. I said, you don't even have a garage. How can you have a garage sale? And she said, that's not the point. She can buy stuff from a garage sale. It's like, well, but this isn't just about you buying. You have to participate in this. How can you actually have a garage sale without first having a garage?
True.
I don't know. It's a principle of it all for me.
Back to the Super Bowl. Am I the only person in the United States that is pro Tom Brady?
Maybe.
Like, I wanted him to have rings on every finger, on his toe rings, the whole deal. I mean, I want him to retire at 59.
Yeah, I appreciate watching him do what he does. I hate that he went to Michigan and is good. He's not good. He's great.
He's the best. Still,
it's unbelievable, and so it is cool that we get to. I enjoy rooting against him, but I also enjoy that I will get to tell grandkids someday I got to watch him play.
Well, at this point, your grandkids will get to.
At this point, my grandkids will get to watch him play because he's never retiring.
Yes.
He's going to do this forever.
Yes.
He's just absolutely ridiculous. And I felt bad. Patrick Mahomes, he was on the run the whole time. Yeah. He had no chance.
But to watch Brady and Gronk too, that was something else too.
Yep. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the commercials. I thought the commercials were actually pretty decent this year.
The Oatly commercial.
All right, were you pro or anti the Oatly commercial?
It made me laugh so hard.
I hated that commercial so much.
That's why it was like watching Will Ferrell do a skit or something.
Yeah, like, he had one in there for GM, which was funny.
No, but the guy singing for Oatly, you kept like, is this for real?
Yeah, that was so weird. It was so bizarre. But nope, whole thing was it was a good. It wasn't a great game. But I was okay with that because there was a team that was obviously the champions.
The pre-show was great.
Mm-hmm.
Her did the what song did she do?
America the Beautiful.
Yes, and I mean that was really
Star
great.
Spangled Banner was really good.
Yes, I thought the halftime show was phenomenal.
James, do you play any music by the weekend when you play live music at Logan's and such? And would you consider adding the weekend to your repertoire?
No and yes.
Okay.
So I don't play any. I don't have very strong feelings about the weekend. So.
But nobody was in the middle about the halftime show.
That was odd. I was in the middle.
Everybody, you were? Yeah. Most people hated it or loved it. I thought it was awesome.
I feel like it's a thing. It's just a thing now, right? I mean, isn't it just a thing that people want to fight about? Like,
yeah. Everybody
just eliminate the middle everywhere.
Oh gosh, crazy. Yeah. No, and people don't realize you're not the demographic they're shooting for.
Yeah.
Like, nobody cares if you liked it or not. They weren't trying to get you. They don't care.
Yeah.
I think the Super Bowl always tries to go for some pop artists of some kind, because they are, that's one of the widest genres. Country music, a lot of people really like that, but that's not going to get. There's some people who strongly don't like country music, and it's just not.
Well, and they like to get younger as well. Yeah. I mean, I wonder how many kids just tuned in because
the Weeknd's one of what people don't realize is it's like one of the top 5 of the last decade artists, which I would have had no idea about.
He is this generation's Michael Jackson.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
I would.
That's a little much. That's a little much. You've gone too far, Dave. You've gone too far.
There was a boundary,
and you crossed it. Yeah, I don't think he's quite there, but he's definitely one of the most popular artists out there right now. So I know a lot of people didn't care for it, and to that I say, what artist were you going to get that the entirety of America liked?
Yeah,
that person doesn't exist, just doesn't exist. So it's like trying to order pizza for the entire. Even if you get just plain cheese, somebody's gonna complain.
Yeah. Somebody would be mad you didn't have anchovies.
Yeah, somebody's going to get mad at you.
Yep.
Like me.
Would you get mad if there's not anchovies?
I do happen to really like anchovies. Not necessarily on pizza. Actually, sardines, not anchovies, but that's all kind of the same, right?
I don't know. I can't say I've ever had anchovies. I probably have.
Kale and sardines is actually a surprisingly good breakfast.
I'll take your word for it.
I know, it sounds gross, but it's really good.
Do you eat it like cereal?
I eat it by putting it in my mouth like cereal, but
okay,
not with a spoon.
So
I had anchovies once, just to
say twice, you have.
Just to say we had it.
I've had it in Caesar dressing, because that's how you make a traditional Caesar dressing is with anchovies. But I've not had just like here's a fish.
Yeah,
not done that. All right. Let's switch gears from dead fish.
But why?
I don't know. Let's please just switch gears. Some people are eating lunch right now. Yesterday, Dave. So let us give you a little bit of insight into pastoral. I don't even know what to call it. Pastoral life.
Yeah.
Here's kind of the difference. Pastors come from different places and in different ways. There's different procedures to get to the place where you're at. The route that I took is I went from college to seminary through ordination. The ordination process and all that stuff takes a weird long time, and then became a pastor through that process. A lot of people, especially people who are doing this as a second career, but a lot of people don't go that route. They go the route of licensed local pastor. And in doing so, there's not a one-time ordination process necessarily. There's a licensure to be a pastor, to be a licensed local pastor, but then you meet annually, with the District Committee on Ordained Ministry.
Like, here's the difference between the two is Dan is ordained, and so he is appointed. You are a pastor until you retire.
Correct.
I am locally licensed, which means I work for St. Mark's.
Yes.
So I am a pastor in the confounds of that body.
And you can be appointed somewhere else, but you are then the pastor just for there. I'm a pastor to all people.
But if there was
in all times and in all places.
If there was not an appointment for me, I would just not be a pastor anymore. Right.
So all of that to say,
but I am on the path to be ordained through licensing.
Correct. So you can do this so many years. You go and you take seminary classes, which you're taking right now. 5 years, and then at the end of those 5 years, you can be ordained through.
No, at the end of those, then you go advanced course of study.
And
then you could be ordained. And since I have kids in college, that's the route I'm taking because it's cheap. Actually, it's oftentimes free from scholarships and whatnot.
Sure.
Yeah.
All that to say, every year you've got to meet with the District Committee on Ordained Ministry, a group of pastors and lay people who you meet with this year over Zoom, and they ask you theological questions, and they decide whether or not you get to be a pastor for another 365 days. Dave, how did it go?
Well, I'll be a pastor for another year. Here's the thing. You know how you meet with a group of people and they're like, yeah, we're not trying to judge you. well, you meet with these people and we're going to judge you.
Well, that's why they're on the committees, to judge you.
Yes. And so you go.
They don't get paid to be on this committee. It's the only joy they get out of it is judging people.
and it is mostly ordained pastors, and there's usually a couple lay leaders.
Yep.
On each of your firing squad that you come in front of. And they grill you for an hour, and you have to have good theological reasons for everything that you say and all of this stuff. And what I'm not, to be honest with you, they're there for two reasons. They're there to support you, number one, but they also want to make sure that just not anybody has that license.
Right.
So it's for good reason. But you would think after so many years, like, okay, he just gave us the same answers last year. He should be good to go. But it doesn't work like that. So it's stressful because you kind of never know what curveball is going to come. You don't know if there's somebody on the committee who had it really hard getting ordained, and so they want to pass that along.
Right.
And
some people have an axe to grind, that kind of thing. So, I mean, think of it this way. You took high school biology. At some point, you had a test over something within biology, and you had to know, like, these things inside and out. It was very important for you for passing, for getting your high school diploma. You don't remember any of those things anymore. You could go back and look at things and look things up, and as the need comes. But a lot of that information you lose. The reality is, I was ordained, I forget how many years ago now, like 10 years ago, something like that. And I mean, I went through, I knew all the right things to say theologically and all of these things. The reality is probably, there's some things I might not be able to just rattle off just like that. Dave has to be able to rattle those things off year after year after year. It'd be like you have to take your high school biology test every year.
Yes.
And it's...
They are trying to put it out in front of general conference that once you pass your course of study, that even if you're licensed, you don't have to come anymore. But there's some people like Trevor, who's been doing this like 13 years.
Yeah.
And every year he's got to. But it can be, I understand the reason behind it. It can just be frustrating, especially because like the 1 year I was told I didn't explain something in my own words. So I did that the next year, and they said, well, you didn't give us enough theology behind that. So this year was all theology.
Right.
And they, guess what they said this year?
You need to be able to use your own words.
Yes.
Yeah. And that is true. I mean, I've been on the board of ordained ministry for the conference before.
Just tell me to do both.
Right, which is what we generally ask people to do, is like, hey, you need to know your theology, but then also, okay, well, how does that actually work? How does that? Because that's why theology doesn't matter if it just sits in a book. You've got to be able to use it. So things like your theology of baptism, your theology of the sacraments, of communion, of all of these kind of things. Like, you've got to, yes, you should know the right things, but then also, okay, well, how does that practically work?
Right. And another part of it is they're trying to fit 5 pounds in a 3-pound bag.
Sure. They
only have an hour to grill you.
So I've got a question. Is there a career path where you're just infallible like the Pope?
Yes, it's being the Pope. One person gets to do it. One person at a time gets to do it.
But then here is the thing, though. On top of this was the first year I was nervous.
Yeah?
I had never been nervous
You
before,
were nervous. I noticed that.
And they actually said it was the best year I've had.
Well,
and I've always gone through with flying colors.
Listen, you have quite an impressive. I don't know if you want to call me your mentor, but
that's it. So, but so they grill you for an hour, and then they ask you to leave the room.
Right, but it was on Zoom. How do you leave the room?
They put you to another Zoom room. But anyway, they ask you to leave the room.
Okay.
And you don't know you have no idea what they're saying. And sometimes
talk about you.
They just like, I'll go to the bathroom and get coffee and stuff. and you think that they're talking about you.
Like, why is this taking so long?
Yes, and then you come back and they say, well, we've decided to either approve you for another year or not approve you for another year. And some people don't get approved.
Yeah.
All right, one more thing. I think they should do. I think it would be much more ominous if the whole group would get together and do one of these.
Oh, with a thumb, like thumbs up or something. Or isn't it the thing with the election of the Pope, like the white smoke or the black smoke? Yeah. And like you're just watching the chimney waiting to see what comes out?
Yes.
So you guys ready to talk to our guest?
Oh, is she on?
Yeah, she said she was ready to go.
Wonderful. Yeah, we'll go ahead and talk with Linda Barclay.
Just keep in mind that you'll hear her before the stream hears her. So,
okay, that's fine.
I'm going ahead and ringing her right
now.
I'm
glad that you got reapproved, and I'm glad that you get to be a pastor again for another year.
There it goes. Okay.
All right, I think I hear her.
We got her going. Let's pull up. Oh.
It's Church Chat with Pastors Dan and Dave. Come hang out with.
And we go. There we go. We got her on there.
Hey, Linda. It's Dan and Dave here with you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We're doing good. I'm so glad you get to see us on a weekday.
Yeah, I am too.
So, Linda, you help run our scouting program at the church. Why don't you talk a little bit about that? And we were having this conversation. I want to make sure that there's kind of a new name, right? Is it Scouting BSA now? Is that the right way to refer to our scouting program?
It's now called Scouts BSA.
Scouts.
So you have Cub Scouts for the little guys up to 5th grade, and then they transfer now into Scouts BSA.
Okay.
That way, it incorporates both the boys and girls. Both the Cubs and the Scouts BSA incorporate the boys and girls. The company's still called the Boy Scouts of America, but we call the youth from 11 to 17 Scouts BSA.
Okay.
So we have a girl troop and we have a boy troop. Right now they're keeping them in separate troops, but we kind of run them as patrols in a small group, and it helps us to work together. Then we have the Cub Scout group for the little ones that go from kindergarten to 5th grade.
Now, I saw Glenn on Monday. I was walking in the gym, getting a little exercise, and I saw Glenn building a bridge. And that was for the Cub Scouts, correct?
Yes, when the Cub Scouts hit the 5th grade, then they can join scouting. Scouts BSA at the age of 11, or sometimes when they're 10 and a half and they've met a lot of the requirements to get the rank that they need. And then we have what they call a crossover ceremony. So it's kind of like crossing over from Cub Scout Day, and we kind of make a big deal of it because it is. It's kind of a little exciting time to help them, onto their journey up to Scouts BSA.
So they cross over the bridge, right?
Yes, sir.
I thought that was really cool. I saw Glenn building that big bridge, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's a really cool ceremony.
It's fun. Yes, the Cubs are kind of ushering them out, and we as a troop on the other side were like, "Welcome to our group now." And
that's
so
cool.
It makes a really nice symbol of unity.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, how long have you and Glenn been active in the Scouts at St. Mark's?
We've been active, I think we kind of figured it was around 2004 when Scott crossed over from Cub Scouts into the troop. He wanted to go to the one at his church, so we ended up going to the St. Mark's one. Glenn was a little more active in the early years than I was because he would actually go camping and stuff. I started out on the committee, just kind of help plan the program and making sure everything ran and giving the leaders the support they needed to keep the program going. Okay,
gotcha. And Scouts have been a part of St. Mark's for quite a while. And I know there've been a number of Eagle Scouts that have come through. Do you have any idea what the number is? Eagle Scouts?
About 136 Scouts, and we've been chartered with the church for around between 75 and 80 years.
How many Eagle Scouts did you say?
About 135, 136.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
It is.
That's so cool. And I'm sure we've got some that are starting to work up that way, and that number is going to continue to grow, and that's just awesome.
I think I just wrote a recommendation for Evan. He's working on his, isn't he?
Yes, he's working on his Eagle.
Evan Wine.
And we got 4 more coming up behind him pretty quick.
That's awesome. Very cool. So this Sunday at church is going to be our Scout Sunday. Do this every February, where the scouts come and participate in the services. So you'll get to see some of the dapper young folks who are in uniform when they come in. How is that that's kind of a nationwide thing, not just a St. Mark's thing. But why do you see that as an important part of the scouting program and the connection with the church and all of that?
Well, part of the scout law is a scout is reverent. And I think doing things with the church kind of reinforces that reverent part of scouting. But it also helps the church to see the youth that we have and the program we run. And it helps the youth to see the people that help support them from the church. Mm-hmm. So I like that it's kind of a hand-in-hand thing that we, they get to see us and we get to see them. And the boys the scouts, because the girls too can show off what they know. And I really like the way it brings us all together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I don't want to put you on the spot here, but you recently received an award, correct?
Yes, I did.
You want to tell us about that?
Silver Beaver Award. Well, the Silver Beaver Award is it's a council level. Our council consists of, I think, 4 or 5 counties. We have Seneca, and we kind of go all the way out to Defiance, and each district gets to pick a Silver Beaver Award awardee, and I got it for the Arrowwood district, nominated me, and I was luckily enough to be picked to get this award. It's a volunteer for all your volunteer work. It's an award. What makes it special to me is it's an award that you don't apply for it. Somebody has to put you in for it. So there were enough people that thought I was worthy of it that nominated me without me knowing about it. And that makes it real special to me.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, congratulations to you for that. And we are thankful for, I think every church I've been a part of has had a scouting program of some kind, and none have been stronger than the one at St. Mark's. It's pretty impressive what you all do, and the number of lives that have been affected by that in a positive way. I think that's a really special thing. And it's always special, like on Scout Sunday, when we say something like, hey, those who have been involved in the scouting program stand up, and how many people that you don't realize have been through that. It's a really neat thing. So I know that COVID has kind of affected some things in the past year, but I assume you have some really fun things hopefully planned for the scouts coming up in the coming year. Do you want to talk about any of that?
Well, we're excited that Camp Berry has opened back up for camping. Oh, okay. So we're trying to get some events going where we can get some camping done. I mean, there'll be certain guidelines. They try to keep everybody in what they call a pod or group of 10, which would be 2 adults and 8 kids, 4 adults, 6 kids, to keep the group small and for the social distancing and all that. So we're kind of having to do some planning, but we're looking forward to getting these activities together and inviting people to maybe come join us for a couple hours that might be interested in seeing what the program has.
Awesome.
And we talked about our Super Bowl party with the youth, but that was actually to help the scouts kick off their scouting for food. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we were so excited too about the Super Bowl, and I was kind of curious if anybody was going to be able to have a negative score, which I think is kind of fun. But the scouting for food is done every year. We do it we consider it the first 2 weekends in March. The first weekend we send out, we put out on people's doors that we'll be coming to get the food, and then the next Saturday we pick it all up. And for us lately, we've been delivering it to Chopin Hall. So it's an annual program. It helps feed the community. It helps the youth to see that there's a need and that they can help fill it. So it's a good program that we try to support. We're hopeful that we can get the church more involved. We've started with the soup, and we're going to try to leave the bins in the church so that everybody has a chance to bring more in, whether it's dry goods and that kind of stuff, the rice, the mashed potatoes, powdered milk, and all that, to kind of go with all this soup that we're going to be taking in. So we're excited about it.
Yep.
Cool.
That's great. Thank you so much for everything that you do with them. If anybody's interested in getting their kids or grandkids or volunteering themselves with Scouts, who do they contact and how do they do that?
They can contact Glenn or myself. There's also, if they go to Be a Scout on the I think if you Google Be a Scout, there's a place to find a local troop, even if it's not here. If you're living in California, you can find a troop, and that has a way to contact us. You can, of course, call Glenn or I. I don't know if you want a phone number
Well,
or
you can
an
contact the
email.
church office, and we'd be happy to get them in touch
Right,
with you.
and
As
they'll
well.
get your information to Glenn and I, and we'll reach out to you or out to the people that are interested.
All right. Sounds good. Linda, thank you so much for being on with us today. We appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. Thanks for inviting me.
Yep, absolutely.
I feel
We'll see.
special, more special now. I got to be on church chat.
I know. You can put that on any resume you want to or anything like that.
You know what? I think that I might have had. Let's see. I think I might have had your settings weird. Are you seeing me or are you seeing the pastors?
I see you.
Oops. I'm sorry.
Don't worry. We're here. I promise.
It must be kind of weird. Hey, for only one.
I'm trying to look at the camera and not keep looking at my picture.
There we go.
Here we
That's
are.
the way it should have been the whole time.
Oh, man.
Next
All right.
time. Next time. I'll
Next time. There you go. All right, Linda, thanks a lot. We'll see you on Sunday.
All right, thank you. All right, bye.
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 Can I just say I've worked at the church for over 20 years.
It's Church Chat with Pastors Dan and Dave.
Scout leaders coming
Come hang out with us on our stream. It's Church Chat Wednesday.
I mean, I'm not ripping on anybody from the past. I'm just saying they are.
Well,
my
they are
favorite.
very, very committed. And
They don't even have kids that age.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So
They
they're
do
just
it 'cause
doing
they-
it because they love Scout.
because they love it and they care about it. And they really are, incredibly active in it. And it's an awesome thing. It's great to see people who have figured out, hey, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and they just dive into it, and it's awesome.
Well, like I said, that bridge ceremony.
Yeah.
I mean, Glenn was in there an hour and a half before. Well, probably even before that, because he was loading all the pieces of the bridge in his truck and just to set that up for that ceremony. That was really cool.
Yep. And there's never been an instance that I can think of where it's like, if we need help and we ask the Scouts, that it wasn't just taken care of like that. So,
Yep.
So kudos to them. It's a great part of our church in the way that they interact. So, folks, want to let you know about a few things that are going to be coming up. One of them is involves the youth and the parents. So do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we're gonna have a cookies and mom and dad conversation this weekend.
This Sunday.
This Sunday at 3:30. Our normal youth group time.
Youth are still supposed to come.
Youth are still supposed to come. Here's the funny thing is I don't know any of the parents anymore. I mean, we have for years I've had these kids, like I've known you my whole life. Parents don't care where we're going or what we're doing. They're just like, does my kid need a passport or shots? That's all I need to know. Otherwise, here's your check. Get them out of my hair. And now I've got all these parents that I've never even met because these kids are brand new to church, which
That's
is awesome.
such an exciting thing. I don't know. We talk about it, but I don't know how, if our church really fully understands what's happening here. We always talk about, evangelism, invite people to church, stuff like that. Like, this is happening in the youth group to the point where there's like maybe 20 or so kids that have been starting to get involved in different things, either went on youth retreat or
That had
coming
never
to youth
walked
group,
into a church until 2 months
have
ago.
never walked into any church, not just our church, but any church. And this Jesus thing is brand new to them, and they are coming to be
They're
a
doing
part
Bible
of
studies on their own.
It's wild. It's absolutely
And
wild. So it's
So every once in a while, I'll have, these parents that are like, I don't even know you, but I don't know what a retreat is, but my kid said something about it. What is it you're doing?
Yeah.
So I just figured it'd be great to have a Sunday to meet this
Right.
weirdo.
yeah.
And we'll
It's such a
meet
cool
each
thing.
other. We'll tell each other what we're doing, how things normally work over the summer with our trips and all that stuff. Because I'm still planning on taking a mission trip.
So these are all families that have no connection to our church whatsoever that getting a chance to meet this Sunday. So if you are part of the church, be praying for these families.
Yeah.
And these kids who have been starting to come. This is a thing that's been happening in spite of COVID, in spite of all of this stuff. Like there's this evangelism thing that's happening among our youth. That's a really exciting thing.
We haven't had a group that's been this invitational in at least 4 years.
Yeah. So it's pretty wild. So be praying for them. And yeah, really hopeful for a chance just to form some relationships there and get to know some folks this Sunday. So really, really looking forward to that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. So that's coming up. A week from today is Ash Wednesday, and we will start our Lenten series. I meant to bring the book. It's Simon Peter by Adam Hamilton. We'll be kind of walking through that. Hopefully a future church chat guest.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that a...
I don't know. Well,
that a
we're going to try to
segue?
get that scheduled. We're going to try to get that scheduled to have him come on, which would be a really awesome thing.
Like for somebody not in the pastor world, let us just tell you.
It's totally nerding out for us.
Yes, I mean, he has the largest church in the United States. correct?
Largest United Methodist church in the world.
Yes.
It's not the biggest church in the United States, but it's the largest United Methodist church in the world.
It
Something
was
like
like
13,000 people on a weekend or something like that.
And over Easter, he said there's 27,000.
Yeah, that
On
participate
Easter.
in their services. We went out 2 years ago to his church of Resurrection out in Kansas City. It's an amazing place, and some great stuff that comes out of there. Some great ministry and mission that comes out of there. If you hear us preach, you've been more influenced by Adam Hamilton than you know.
Yeah.
Because he influences us, and so excited to have him hopefully as a guest in the future. But yeah, we are starting our Lenten series. So, and a week from today, 7:00, our Ash Wednesday service to kick off Lent. So hopefully you will come and be a part of that as well. Other than that, church services continue to be open and in person. Still wear your mask, social distance. But 9:00 for traditional service, 10:30, or no, 10 o'clock for Sunday school for kids and youth, and then 11:15 for our contemporary service, and then youth in the afternoon at 3:30. It's good stuff. Am I missing anything?
Nope.
All right, James. Anything else I'm missing?
Nope.
All right. Got to see James play a little music this past weekend. That was a lot of fun. Getting back out there.
And I'll tell you, the last couple Sundays, music at
Music
church.
has been awesome. Man, I threw you a curveball last week, too, and you hit it out of the park.
Yeah, that was a great song. And actually, we have some really good music coming up this week.
Good. I hate the weeks where you decide to have bad music. So
Yeah.
You
yeah.
guys don't know this,
I
but
should warn you.
every once in a while it'll be like a Thursday, and I'll send James like a YouTube clip and say, "Can you do something with this song by Sunday?"
And he's like, yeah, it's fine.
And he always comes through for us.
Well, so far I have, but you guys just keep these moments in mind when I don't come through sometimes. And also, my Bluftonians, who lead worship up there with us, they have me all nervous. I had to play a song, "Beautiful Things," and like, oh, this is a classic, and I was like, this is like the newest song I picked this week, and so they're all on me for picking like old songs.
Oh, they're gonna start getting you some new stuff. Huh?
I will say this: my wife came home from church and said, "Why does Spencer have to sing that song that makes me cry?" So,
what Spencer
and my
likes.
wife is very stoic, so
Yeah,
that's something.
man. Spencer and Amy do a beautiful job. They really do. It's been such a cool thing to have them be a part of this.
I think that would be a cool name, James and the Bluff Tones.
The Blufftonians,
The Bluff Tones.
the Bluff Tones. Oh, I like.
James
I see what
and the
you
Bluff
did there.
Tones.
I see what you did
Yeah.
there. I like that. All right. Thank you guys so much for being with us this week. Getting ready to start the season of Lent coming up soon. So hope to see you this Sunday. Be there, Scout Sunday. Say hi to the Scouts if you are there, and feel free to watch us online. Also, if you're not ready to come back yet, we'll be on Facebook and YouTube as well at 11:15. And I think that's all.
Yep.
So all right. Do you want to play our theme song to play us out?
I do. Here we go. You ready?
We're ready. Do we get to hear it or not so much?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it in the way that you'll be able to hear.
Good. I missed it.
Yeah.
Possibly.
All right. Have a
Yes.
good week.
There it is.
It's Church Chat with Pastors Dan and Dave. Come hang out with us on our stream. It's Church Chat Wednesday.
My week is now complete. It's fantastic. Have a good week,
My
guys.
wife
Bye.
hates that.